Hello, this is James, and this is Generation FM. Welcome to a new episode of Cursory Conversation. We're broadcasting live from Kings Park, Perth. Beautiful view of the city. Jessica can't make it today. She's doing some emergency babysitting. And but don't worry, we have an amazing fill-in. I'm sure there's a better word than fill-in.
Shucks.
Amazing stand-in, emergency prop. You've met her before. It is Teddy.
Hello.
Just Teddy?
Yeah, I don't know.
This is kind of awkward.
Why is this awkward?
Well, you lost. And then I brought you back.
You just like shot an arrow through my heart. Yeah, I guess so. But, you know, I'm not a sore loser, obviously. That's why I'm here, you know.
Thankfully. Thankfully for me. You're saving my bacon tonight.
You know. Everyone else might hate the fact that I'm here if I lost. You know, all the hate mail.
No.
You're going to get hate mail.
I was just telling you earlier, you only lost by 1 point. And
1 point.
It was... I don't know. I guess I could have put my point in for you and then flipped a coin.
You could have, and you didn't, James.
But I went with the people's vote.
So really, I should be mad at you.
After the competition ended, I said, "Look, stay in touch. I'll need someone at some point." And it's really cool that you've turned up.
Yeah, you literally sent me the best rejection letter ever. It was great. I was like, oh I ain't mad. So here I am.
So we can get that awkwardness over and continue on. Anyway, thanks for joining us. And you were right here in Kings Park with me. I don't think Jessica would be come out in the dark at night and...
obviously you two have built up trust. she's not following you into Kings Park. I'm obviously dumb. Okay.
I'm really just... She left last week on a real cliffhanger, so sorry we won't have that, but hopefully she'll come back next week and tell us... You should listen to the podcast and hear this story. It's amazing.
I'm sorry, I have not listened to it.
You're I'm bitter about it. I'm not gonna.
Sorry.
Even if you were into weird Perth podcasts.
Well, yeah, I'm not generally, but I should be. That should be a thing. So I mean, it's good fun. I'm all about that swing life.
Yeah.
Wait, when I say swing, I don't mean drop keys in a glass bowl and everyone have at each other. I mean in a performance term where you it's kind of like you understudy a few roles, so you have to know tracks for a few people on stage, which I've kind of been doing a lot of lately. It's really good for your brain, so I don't mind being called in last minute if I'm free, so it's good. It's good fun, keeps fresh.
Yes, well I want to get you in more often whenever I can, because you seem super cool. We're sitting here.
Thanks for having me. On
Fraser Ave, in front of the city view, Perth's most classic view of the city skyline, up on the Mount Eliza Hill.
I did not know that's what this place was called.
We're listening to the cars drive around behind us. How do you feel about it?
About where we're sitting?
Yeah.
Oh, it's lovely. We've got some beautiful trees behind us lit up. We've got, the skyline. We can see the rings from Elizabeth Quay. It's gorgeous. And it's nice. It's not too windy. It's not too cold.
Yeah, it's probably one of the last few nice nights of the year. Maybe.
I'm a bit wary of mosquitoes, but that's cool. You bought insect repellent because you're smart, so that's okay.
Not enough, though. I brought roll-on, so you have to use the same one that
Who uses roll-on?
10 other people have probably used.
Thank you, James. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Who uses roll-on?
I had a spray and I pulled it out because I bought a new spray and that was nicer than the old spray, and I didn't put the new one back in because I'm an idiot.
I wasn't going to say anything, but that's cool. I mean, really.
We usually start the show by talking about what we've been consuming,
right?
And that can be
that's fantastic.
Not just food, but movies, music, art, theatre.
You mean what our brain has been consuming?
Yeah, like you're taking in from the world.
Yeah, like our sponge lives. Well, besides millions of germs.
On the audition, you talked about you'd just binged The Fall.
Yes. Well, I binged it last year, and then I've just since told everyone else to binge, and then rewatched bits here and there.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
Well, it was funny because you had recommended it to me, and so the name was in my head, and I didn't really absorb it. And then don't take offense for this, but yeah, this girl at work, woman.
I'm jealous of this woman at work already. No, stop.
who I like to impress, was...
Oh, okay. Does she listen to the podcast?
I don't think so. I'm trying to get her on. And she's actually authentic Irish. So,
again, I apologise for my Irish before. Not that you all listen to us, it's great. Anyway, yes. Okay. She's Irish, so
before
she must
the show, I'm not sure if I'll edit it in, but before the show...
No, that's great. Thank you.
Tanya did the whole pre-show in an Irish accent. It was pretty awesome.
I've been working on an Irish accent.
Oh, right.
Yeah. For my play.
Are you doing it with the Irish Club or something like that?
No. Yeah, I just didn't want to be British. So I was like, let me do it with a sophisticated Dublin accent because they're quite rounded. I listened to a lot of talkback radio in Dublin to get their sort of accent.
Yeah.
And they're quite chill, the Dubliners. It's when you go up in the Belfast where they start getting a bit sing-songy. And as much as I like that, and they say you and all that kind of stuff. To be a professor, I tried to dumb it down a bit. And my director was like, I think it's de-energizing you a little bit. I was like, no, that's not fair. People are going to be looking at us weird. Should I just make out that I'm foreign the entire time? I'll probably piss off anyone.
You could do the whole show under a pseudonym.
Can you imagine? I'll probably piss off everybody who's actually Irish. And be like, please stop talking. You sound fucking horrendous. I attempted it.
Anyway, she's like, oh, you got to check out The Fall. And this was the first time she'd ever...
Oh, and because she's Irish, yeah, okay, yeah.
Engaged with me.
Oh my God. This is the first time she made
she was actually
conversation.
She wanted to get me to watch it just so we could talk about it. And so I went home and immediately...
You're welcome.
Binged it in one night and didn't sleep for 24 hours.
Oh my God.
And I came back, I was like, yeah, I watched it, so you want to talk about it? And she's like, what? You watched it all in one day?
You watched both seasons in one day?
And she got a bit scared by that, and so it didn't really work out.
Oh, James. No.
I should have played it cool.
You could have just said, I watched a couple. You could have watched them all. You could have just said, let's talk about the first 2 episodes. Then you could have dragged it out for weeks and weeks. You could have had coffee dates where you discussed 2 episodes at a time.
Well, she'd already finished. I feel like she wanted to discuss the ending before it had worn out in her brain.
So have you not discussed it at all? You just told her that you watched it and you haven't.
I was like, well, what do you think happened? And I was
know there's a season 3. Oh my God, sorry.
Yeah, and then she tells me, look, that was her main issue was there's going to be a season 3.
When does that come out? I'll Google that.
And I will be back in Ireland by then, so we won't be able to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
That was her blowing me off, saying, I won't even talk to you about season 2, let alone season 3.
Oh no, when does it come? I'm going to Google it now because I thought it was April. But who
is the woman? It's from the X-Files, Scully.
Yes, she's
Gillian
Anderson.
I was about to say Armstrong, which is the Australian director, I think.
She as Stella, her character. Stella is just the bee's knees, don't you think?
She's pretty awesome.
You just want to be her. She's just so...
I can see why you like it. I was sitting there going, I bet you this is why Danielle...
Just because of Stella. But did you like it though? Genuinely, not because a pretty Irish girl told you to watch it? I wouldn't have watched past
episode 1 if...
Oh, really?
Even despite me wanting to impress this lady, I wouldn't have got past episode 1.
If you didn't like it.
If I didn't like it,
Oh, that's good, because
it kept me going, You wanted to see what happened. And I really identify with the idea that you're following the serial killer's story as much as the cops.
It's good, isn't it? That's what got me too, because
kind of like Dexter, but it's more realistic. It's not a B-grade movie like Dexter felt like you were watching a B-grade 70s movies.
It's kind of it's a 5-episode 3rd season.
Oh,
so that's good.
Do you think it's going to continue on?
1 hour long, so I'm not sure. I don't know how they're going to do it. Without spoiling it, so everyone should go watch it. But yeah,
they probably had to cut it short because you went back to the X-Files.
Maybe, I'm not sure, but yeah, she was great in that, and I think there's so many character, what's her name, Katie and stuff in The Fall, and that makes you uncomfortable, and the relationship he has with his daughter and stuff like that. It's I'm glad you enjoyed it, because I love recommending it to people. And I think the first episode you have to stick through it, just because it is a bit longer than most, and it's quite all of the episodes are quite filmy, because they're a bit slower in that sense. But did you like the cinematography and stuff? I really did.
Yeah, it was all put together, because I'm very hesitant with procedural drama.
Yes. And understandably, it's a bit of a bore.
So this,
if it's not
the
done.
fact that, you know, it's the same story throughout kind of thing, it's not murder of the week, is kind of, was okay for me.
Yeah, but sometimes that can get a bit laborious. But then, if it's done right, it's good, yeah.
Because there's so many, like, you know, British murder shows with, like, they have a badass female woman tracking down crime, but it's just a new thing each week, and you're like, is this? And they give you a bit of a tease about some romantic interest,
and then it goes on.
A bit of sugar sprinkled on top, and you just, it's never going to end.
The odd. Well, that's not. I mean, I love Criminal Minds though. Criminal Minds is pretty good.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, it's been going.
Jessica,
but you know what to
Minds.
expect though too, in terms of not so much the storyline, but you know the setup of the episode, and then every now and then they'll throw an episode, but you know what you're getting, and it's a good show. So, you know, when they do put in the surprise episode, you're like, oh my god, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And because I hadn't watched it in a couple of seasons, so I kind of just watched the newest one whilst I've been on break. And there's a couple of episodes in there, and I'm like, no, it's great. But yeah, like the way they come up with these storylines for.
So Criminal Minds is what you're currently consuming.
What did I? No, there's a couple. I'm on holidays this week, so I've consumed a lot of
holidays
things.
From what?
From Principal Academy.
Okay.
Yes, just the 2-week break. So.
So what do you do in your holidays?
Yeah.
You're not away going down south?
No, because I'm poor. Firstly, and secondly,
you're obviously going.
I'm saving monies for
to the party tonight.
Yes,
with
but
a gentleman friend.
It's a it's a friend who is a gentleman.
Okay,
it's his birthday. Well, we're good friends, so it's just.
Well, you were talking earlier about. Sleeping arrangements.
So, sleeping at his house, but because I'm besties with his mum, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I call him and I'm like, so is your mum going to be there? And he's like, yes, my mum will be there. Cool. I'll see you later. So, yeah, he's that kind of friend.
I once had a relationship with this girl, and I kind of thought I was in love, but then it didn't work out, and I realised that it was kind of like I just really liked her mum. Not in a sexual way. I mean, just like it was just cool hanging out with her mum, you know.
That's nice.
I felt like she made me feel like part of the family.
Yeah, see, that's nice when parents of significant others do that. I haven't had that in a long while, and it's quite it's nice.
I never met the father until the last day I saw her.
And then that's it. And is that what broke you up, or what?
No, it was doomed to fail. But
I love
because he worked overseas, so he was never around. And the only time I ever got invited round was when he was away. So.
So you must have. Is this when you were younger? No, I think
they just wanted, you know, a man of the house. You know.
True. Was this when you were younger?
It was a while ago now. It doesn't feel like that long ago because of my last
life
relationship of interest. But
yeah,
it is too long ago. I should move on.
Moving on. I thought I was in love. I wasn't, and I've not let it go. But I wasn't in love. I tell you.
No, but that was the thing is I let go of her, but then I was like, I kind of miss hanging out with her mum.
Actually, no. I had an ex-boyfriend where I kind of.
I wouldn't want to hang out with her just by myself. It was like hanging out with the both of them together. They were a lot of fun. We put some champagne.
Oh, that's nice though. I mean, what else? So what else? Oh, well.
How do you think of the view? We're like at Perth's like
lookout
default view.
It's nice. It's so nice. It's quite a clear night as well, so it's really.
We're on Mount Eliza Scarp on Fraser Ave underneath the lit up.
I didn't know that's what this was called. I didn't know that's what this run was called. And there's little lights that light up the trees.
We can see the planes coming to land at the airport in the distance.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's what that. Yeah, you can.
You can see the little stairway to heaven, which is the roads going up the hill.
Yes, I was just about to say the lights on the hill. You can see that. If their ferries are still running, I'm sure we'll see one come across from one side of the river to the other shortly. We can see the loops of Elizabeth Quay down there. So yeah, it's quite nice. I've always found it really relaxing up here.
Yeah.
And then you get the odd motorcyclist.
Yeah. You know what? I'll probably get assassinated, but if I ever got in power, the first thing I'll do is have just sound meters on the street, and they'll find the frequency of those motorbikes, and just it'll launch a drone that just shoots the.
Oh.
maybe you wouldn't shoot the person, but at least the motorbike and destroy it, and that would be it. And it would just be a nicer place to live, I think.
Wow. Never mind the person on the bike. I mean, if you shoot the bike, something's going to happen to the person on the bike. Yeah. Just saying. Are you going to wait till they've come to a stop?
The bikie gangs will come and kill you and blow you up. Like
true, that's true. And or
they're
like,
blowing up people in power faultless.
Do you make the drones so that they only attack the motorcycle when the motorbike is at like a standstill? That way that the person has time to like run away.
Yeah, get a smart program. He can work it out.
So OH&S.
Have you ever just sat? You've just been, having a pleasant afternoon, and this insanely loud, offensively loud, like obnoxiously loud motorbike has gone past, and you're like, I want to slash that tire. I want to stalk that guy, wait till he parks it, and then actually put a knife into his tires.
No.
This is about...
Not quite. It's more like I hate the ones that keep going. You think they're over, and then it keeps going, and you're like, what is that? What is that? And then
there's very few things that actually get me like angry and I want to be violent. And it's loud motorbikes and the Liberal Party trying to destroy the NBN.
Well, yeah, what the fuck? Took them... Oh, am I allowed to swear?
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, that's right. I swear. Okay. Like, I forgot that... Like, what's the point in that? It took them so long to implement the fucking NBN.
Yeah. They're digging up Wolf's buck, and I bet you there's...
Why?
To put this new system in that's like 10 years out of date. Anyway, God, let's not talk about it.
It's stupid. That's why your intro that's not working.
How was your acting go? Last time I talked to you, you were heading off down south for a fringe thing.
Yeah. That was fun. We did a couple of nights, but we drove back and forth.
Yeah.
So that was a bit tiring, but that was fun. I had a good crowd the second night. It was like at a bowling club.
Oh, really?
In Bustleton, yeah. So they had food
cheap
and
beers.
I didn't. Oh, did I get anything to drink? No, but I had some. I had some roast and stuff, and it was a bit awkward because it's older crowd, and I wasn't dressed like risque or anything. And the person I went down with, he's maybe like 50, and so like we did a couple of duets, and then Ben, who was the pianist, he's blind and he's absolutely incredible, so he's a crowd favorite as well. So. I just thought that they were a bit funny about me, which is actually really awful. Like as a female, I felt the females in the audience.
Oh, the audience
on the first night, not the second night, the first night.
But you weren't dressed provocatively.
No, I had I had like a play suit, but it was like a fancy play suit and it was just black, and I had red lipstick on because that's like cabaret style, and like little heels, but not like boobs out, and I just felt this weird animosity from, and my friend was like, well, it's probably because you're young and their husbands are there. And I was like, that's awful. I know that's like, but I honestly felt, and I said, I know I'm probably being stupid, but I actually feel that they're a little bit
So you felt threatened more by the female gaze than the male gaze?
No, they weren't gay. They were just...
No, gaze. G-A-Z.
Oh, gaze. I was like... Sorry,
whoa.
I was like, oh my God, sorry.
Just like...
My bad. I pressed something.
I was talking about, feminism. They're concerned about the men just staring at women all the time.
Yeah, I was intimidated by it a little bit, just because it was a very close show, so they were like right in our face, because it was just like in a lounge. And before the show had started, we were kind of sitting there, looking at stuff that we were going to go over. And, people, I don't know. The second night was fine. I was probably being paranoid, but yeah, it was weird. It was odd. Yes, that was good fun. We did a cabaret with some people at Principal Academy in Midland the other week, which was fun. And that's probably going to be like a termly thing that we get up to. We might start putting together like a troupe thing to go around. I'm trying to find a pianist who would want to work with me.
Just put on random shows. Yeah,
like to kind of get a little show, more for the experience for me. Like, I mean, it'd be great if I got money out of it, but it's more so I can get like a cool little set list together and just get the experience to have down.
Where do you look for that kind of thing?
That's exactly it. So it's kind of, I mean, I do know a few musical people, so I've kind of just asked, I'm just going to ask around and see if anyone would fancy it. And, you've got to work well together too, collaboratively. if you're doing a cover of something and, you know, they're following you and you're following them. And so you've got to find that good rapport.
You can't just go, hey, Siri, play some music for me.
Yeah, basically. I mean, you can, but it's nicer when you've got an actual accompanist. And like my friend Ben, who did it for Bustleton, he'd love to do it, but I feel like it'd have to be worth his while kind of thing. That's, you know, and until I've got like a decent set, I don't think he'd go for it. So I need to find someone else in the interim. And yeah, I'll see with that. But yeah, that was good fun. Thanks for asking. Good memory. I did some good songs.
So what do you got coming up?
Well, we've got a play.
To plug?
Oh, a play. I actually don't know the dates for it, otherwise I would plug it out. But it's called Dead to the Last Drop, and it's a interactive comedic murder mystery play.
And is this where your Irish accent has to be used?
But I think he's going to make me change it, which sucks because it's it depends on what
why is she talking an Irish accent?
No, because there's only 6 characters in this play, and basically one of them gets murdered in the cafe, and then you have to work out who done it, and but the audience picks at the end. So it's stylistically it's meant to be farce comedy, so it's a bit hard if you've never really done that kind of, think like Pink Panther, sort of that kind of real over the top farce, otherwise it's not going to work. So yeah, it's interesting trying to work on these. My character was actually originally a male role.
Oh, right.
In the context of the show, as a professor, I have slept with my student and her stepmother, so now I'm a lesbian, which is fine. But
they couldn't change that other role.
No, because there's too many females and not enough guys. Yeah. So the one that kind of made the most sense to change.
I'm more excited to hear about it now. A lesbian professor.
Yeah. It kind of made it easier
with an Irish
to change.
Accent?
Yeah. Well, because
maybe not.
There isn't.
If they change that.
What? Well, yeah. There's another character who is quite posh sounding, and it works for her character because that's what she says. So, and like it makes her character funny, whereas my character is not specifically comedic. So, I mean, there is lines. My character's more of a smartass.
Yeah.
So it would work, but I don't want them to have the same accent because there's 6 characters and they're all quite different. So that's why I suggested being Irish, and also because it'd be a good challenge accent-wise for me. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll discuss that. I'm actually meant to know that off book by in 2-3 weeks. Whoops. Yes,
the building has got flashing lights. I never noticed that before.
Really? Yeah. No,
what are they doing? Maybe
one?
they're just turning them on and off. That's how they just happen to do it in a pattern.
Maybe. Oh.
Sorry.
Yes, that'll be mid-year, and then I've got the musical in about October. So if anyone wants to come see Footloose the musical, I'm going to be the mum.
That's right. You told me about that.
Yeah, so that'll be in October, which, yeah, it'll be really fun.
So what, you're already rehearsing for that?
Yeah, so we've started doing that
and
too.
That's through your school?
Yeah.
Cool.
So it'll be at the Nexus Theatre in
Is it a musical?
Murdoch University. Yeah, it's a musical. Yeah.
Okay, so you have to sing.
It's a jukebox musical, but they've got...
Well, tweet me and I'll try and come.
Yeah, and it's a jukebox musical, but there's theatre songs that they've obviously had to write.
Who's the lead? Is the lead a girl or guy?
Technically, it's a male lead, but have you ever seen Footloose the movie?
Yeah.
So Kevin Bacon's character, Ren, so that's technically the lead because he's the catalyst that moves from...
I would love to see a version of Footloose with a female lead.
Yeah, I mean, Ariel, who's the female lead, technically, she's the lead. But we were all talking about, because there's so many females in our at where we study, so we were like, why not just do a female-led musical? Why are we always, But hey,
yeah.
But no, it's going to be great. We've got some good people in the roles, and yeah, it's cute. So they do. So Footloose is in it. Holding Out for a Hero is in it, and Let's Hear It for the Boy. There's 3 sort of from the movie soundtrack, and then and then we've got other songs that they've written into the show. So I do a nice little trio, and I do a ballad as well. So
I'm working on this movie idea that's kind of like Footloose crossed with Pacific Rim. Have you seen the movie Pacific Rim with the robots? Or
no.
Neon Jealous?
I think I've heard of it. That's not the one with Rihanna in it, is it?
No, it's with the guy from Sons of Anarchy.
Charlie something?
Have you seen Genesis Evangelion?
No.
It's Japanese. You should watch that and tell your gentleman friends they'll be impressed. And
will they?
I don't know.
Will the majority of my gentleman friends be impressed if I watch that?
I don't know. I don't know what your gentleman friends are like.
Maybe they'll just be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
It's like one of those cult hits that is super cool.
I have so many things that people look at me and they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Do I really need to add things to this list?
Anyway, so in Pacific Rim, there's like demons coming out of the center of the earth, and they're gigantic. So they have to build giant robots, and the robots are so big that you need two people to mind meld and control it together. And they battle out in the oceans of big things. And I think my idea is kind of like that, but these aliens come to Earth and say, look, you have to put on a big show for us to impress us, or we're just going to blow up Earth. And they go away and they say, we're going to come back in 4 or 5 years, and you better have something awesome to show us.
4 or 5 years before your death.
So
that's
basically the whole world has to come together. Yeah. To make this big show kind of like the opening of the Olympics, like something really big on scale.
Die.
And they get this crazy Baz Luhrmann character who's like, you know what, let's build giant robots because they've got the money that's bigger than, they've got a budget bigger than the moon, Saturn, Apollo missions.
Wait, who gave them this budget? The aliens?
United Nations. Everyone's pulling their money together.
Right, okay, sorry, yeah.
To build these giant...
the aliens gave them money to...
Yeah, and they hire this crazy Baz Luhrmann kind of character who's like, okay, we're going to put on a show, but we're going to on a huge scale. They make this giant things, and the giant robots are going to be as tall as they're going to be 2 kilometers high, so you can actually see them from space dancing on the ocean floor. And they've got 1 kilometer under the ocean, standing on the ocean floor, and they got 2 kilometers up with the gigantic things. And but there's he it's going to be 4 years, so he has to go to this ballet school, this dance school, and hire this young girl who has to find the best young girl. And I guess they have a big competition, but then he identifies this rogue girl that's out the back dancing her own steps, like Strictly Ballroom. And,
oh my god, you've just mashed up 4 films.
Yeah.
But continue.
That's why it's going to be awesome. And they hire her, and you sort of follow her journey, and they do a time lapse. And so she's this really awesome.
And then
she's this young girl thrown into it, and then
with no experience. It's the dream, right? So she's got no credentials. He just sees her.
She's a really good dancer, and he pulls it, and she's like, the other girls who won the official competition flake out because they just don't hack it, but he's got confidence to her, so he throws her in the robot, and they get to the aliens turn up, and they're like, show us, impress us, and they do this big dance to the robots, but the robots they've just rusted in the water and they can't move. So does
she drown?
No, she has to eject from the robot, and she parachutes down and lands on a helipad on the back of a ship. And and Baz Luhrmann is quickly going, oh, we've got to do something, and they're going to destroy us. So he's fire up this giant projector, and he puts a camera on her, projects a giant image across the sky of her dancing, and she just does the most simple, amazing dance. That's just pure and full of passion and love, and that wins over the aliens, and they don't blow up Earth.
Wow.
Would you love to see that movie?
I mean, yeah.
I'm thinking of sending my script to Baz Luhrmann, and you can get it made.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, so what's the budget for this film?
Well, I think Great Gatsby was $200 million, so...
Oh yeah, about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean...
Pacific Rim was, I think, fairly low budget.
It's crazy. I mean, yeah, that's an interesting concept. Although when you...
I love your enthusiasm for it. You're yeah, sure.
Yeah, just make robots and dancing and saving the world and no time
But how
pressure.
cool would that be for a movie where it's just being a really passionate dancer saves the world?
Well, yeah, that would be nice. I like that concept. I also if you're going to put the camera on her, could you make it, they have the technology to project it in this massive orb across the globe so everyone can look up at the same time and see it?
Everyone's watching, the whole world's at a standstill.
But but I mean above in an actual projection, in a protective orb thing.
Well, it
which you
might be
can
a
view.
mirror effect because obviously you want it. The aliens who are in space looking down, they see it normal, but us we see it as a mirror because we're looking at the other side.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
they'll look fine.
But all over.
Maybe you have to
the
be on the
world.
dark side of the Earth though. Everyone has to fly around to the dark side of the Earth to see it.
Oh, I mean, they just switch off the lights, can't they?
Yeah.
just
Anyway, I think it would be amazing.
just turn the sun off and
Don't steal my idea, people.
Okay. You copyrighted it now.
I've proclaimed it on this grand podcast.
Yes. Fellow folk. So I watched a show though that's completely different to your to your style. It was not about robots or dancers or anything. Am I sorry? Oh,
okay.
okay.
Get more intimate.
Oh, okay. Just like in my mouth. Wait, that's the microphone. Yeah. I started watching a show called Fresh Off the Boat. Have you seen it?
No.
Have you heard of it?
Yes.
It's actually pretty funny.
It's an Asian family in America.
Yeah, it's actually pretty funny. I thought it would, because I was like, oh, I've got 20 minutes. Like, you know when you're getting ready for bed and you're just like, I'll watch whatever.
I listened to a podcast with the creators and they seemed kind of cool, but then I saw a trailer for the thing and I was like, it sounded a bit too cheesy.
I mean,
I've seen some really,
because it's a sitcom. It's 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
They gotta have some, cheese in there. But I love the mum's character. She's fantastic. If you watch it for anything, watch it for her. Yeah, she's great. And she's not like stereotypically like, you know how whenever they try things like that, they go over the top and they make them old and, she's quite a young mum still, and so it's real interesting. Speaking of that too, I also watched My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2 this week. As I'm Macedonian.
Similar,
as you might remember, so it's similar
values.
Yes, very similar. And my mum,
is your family like that?
Yes. Well, okay. I mean, we don't have a lot of family in Perth, but just in general, whenever you're with them and you're around them, that's life basically. Mm-hmm. And my mum, my sister, and I went to watch it, and we were just losing it because
you could do you have a similar look to the main girl.
Nia,
with your hair.
Yeah,
you could pull her off.
She's
if you
funny.
Went to a dress up party.
She's Canadian, actually.
She's not actually Greek.
No, she is. I'm pretty sure she's Greek. Yeah, she's definitely Greek. But it was. I mean, it's not going to be as good as the first one anyway, because you know that all of those jokes are coming. Yeah. But it's still hilarious because But I wonder how well it translates if you're not of WOG background.
Right.
Just because.
How does it compare to Australian WOG exploitation products?
Well, WOG Boy, you mean?
Yeah, that.
I haven't seen WOG Boy in years, actually, but I found that was pretty.
Acropolis now.
That was pretty funny as well, because there are so many. Everyone's got the one family member that's the same, or, it's hilarious. So we thoroughly enjoyed that.
Is you
this
went
week.
As a family?
Yeah, and because we went together, we were just losing it. I was like, oh, there's my bubba. There's.
What cinema did you go to the cinema with other families?
There are other families in there, but I wonder if they were all WOG.
Yeah.
I'm sure some of them were. Cause
turn on the cinema, I was like, oh God, we're going to have to sit with these people who really identify with this movie.
Yeah, and well, that's it. I feel like the people next to me, there was only like 2 or 3 seats between me and this other lady, and I don't think she was WOG. But yeah, I know we're sitting there cacking ourselves, and she's probably like, please be quiet. But no, it was a good, so that's another movie besides my regular shows. That was my new additions to my consumption.
I just finished watching the James Franco Stephen King miniseries.
What was that
11 called? It's
the
a date 11/22/63. Yeah.
Is it good? Because I'm in two minds about Franco.
I love portal fantasy and I love 1950s Americana. So a couple of the episodes really itched my noggin, or whatever they say.
Is that a good thing? I'm not sure. It
hit the good spot where you're like, good. Oh yes, I love this.
I was like, okay.
But then the other 4 episodes, it's kind of about him trying to stop JFK getting assassinated, and I could do without that. I wanted them more the,
style.
going to the 1950s swing dancing and.
Yeah. I just pictured you like a dog when the dog gets scratched on the head. So for a second,
that.
okay, good. Because I was like, because you also scratch your head when you're unsure of something.
Oh right, yeah.
So that's why I wasn't sure.
Scratch your noggin. That's why that's not the term. I was trying to think of.
I don't know.
Scratching your noggin would be confused. Yeah.
That's why I wasn't.
But yeah,
quite
with
sure.
a dog, you pat them in the exact right place, and they actually their leg actually thinks it's actually scratching itself, so it's like shaking.
Does it? Is that why it shakes?
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know why it shakes. Did I tell you we got a puppy? I think.
Oh really?
No,
What kind?
Oh, she's a Jack Russell. Her name's Mimi.
Yeah, maybe you did say that.
Yeah. She's adorable. She's still adorable. She has like bat ears now. She's kind of in like that middle sort of when they're quite large, and she's got a little face, so they just look like bat ears. It's adorable. She's cute.
My friend just got a Mexican hairless dog.
Oh.
I think the actual real name is Axel or something, and they have giant pointy ears compared to their head. It's really crazy.
It's cute though. I quite enjoy it because they kind of just look at you and then they like tilt their head with their massive ears.
Tried to watch. You remember The Mask with Jim Carrey?
Oh yeah, I have not seen that in years either though.
Yeah, my friend brought that up the other day. He's like, "Oh, remember The Mask? That was awesome!" Right, and he was being sarcastic, but because he knows that I love dumb Jim Carrey movies like Dumb and Dumber is like one of my favorite movies. And and I was telling him how like The Mask was the first movie that ever really disappointed me as a child. Because I was so hyped up after seeing Dumb and Dumber and Ace Ventura.
That's
I was like, The Mask was so hyped. It's going to be the best movie. And I went to the cinema and I was like, it just didn't live up to expectations.
I feel like that movie kind of scared me.
And
I might have been a bit younger, so I feel like that kind of freaked me out a bit. Just because Jim Carrey's style is quite in your face.
Yeah.
So
it's basically
as a kid,
he was.
You're like,
this movie, he took it just so he can do as many plasticine faces as possible.
Yeah, I think he's very smart, Jim Carrey, actually, generally. So, but yeah, there are some things of his that I don't particularly like. I don't really like Will Ferrell that much either. In some things, yeah. In some things, not so much. It's just that type of humor.
So it popped up on Netflix like and just recently added. I watched it again and it still wasn't any better than I remember.
Really?
But I brought that up for a reason.
Right.
What were we talking about before that?
Some other movies. Dog scratching, leg thing, puppies.
Oh yes, there's a Jack Russell. Jack Russell is one of the main characters in that.
Oh really?
Yeah,
is it cute?
And he actually puts the mask on and goes like a big crazy dog.
Actually, I remember that at the end though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. That's right. Oh no, not crazy Jack Russell. No. I feel like she's going to be crazy little yippy thing if we let her, so I have to like calm that down.
I had a question of the week, which was about if you're do you think parents should like be allowed to stop giving their kids cancer treatment if they feel like they're going to be in too much pain and suffering?
Where do you get these questions of the week?
Well, this is from the news. Anyway.
Okay, right.
I'll give you, but I'll save that for Jessica, the hard topics. I was going to ask you a question I asked Jessica last episode, the episode before, was I was watching in my Jim Carrey. They've obviously been adding a bunch of movies, Jim Carrey movies to Netflix, so I rewatched The Truman Show, which actually was still a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
Would you, have you seen The Truman Show?
Years ago, yeah. But I remember that one more so than The Mask.
It's basically like he's a real person, but everyone around him is actors in a TV show and it's being filmed. Would you sign up to play the wife? So you have to live
knowing
in that
you're
character
deceiving
for the rest of your life?
It's more, I feel like that's more deceiving. It's not so much playing a character, it's more that
you couldn't do it because you don't want to deceive him.
Yeah, because when you have character things, but
if they set it up early enough so you actually get a chance to decide, like at first you just go on a date and you actually have feelings for this character, would you?
You could justify it that way for sure. If you are
you the kind of person that could justify yourself living a lie with your husband and living this fake world?
Living a lie with my husband, well, because I'm not married.
Well, if you get married in the show, you'll be officially married, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you could justify.
I'm sure they might have a clause in the contract where they...
Oh, I'm sure there's many ways.
In the movie that she's crossing her fingers at the wedding. But,
oh, really? Yeah, I'm sure there's many ways that you could kind of justify it to yourself for it to be okay. If you generally actually had feelings for the guy and you're like, well, you know what? I'm not really acting. This is me.
Yeah.
But if they've given you a specific outline of characteristics that you must have as his wife and you live in that character, A, it's tiring, B, it's deceitful.
Yeah.
So it's different if they're just like, you can be you, and if you develop feelings for him. So you can justify it in that kind of sense. But when you're acting with somebody, you think about what your relationship is to everybody else around you.
Yeah.
So if you've got
you got to create the character yourself, so you didn't get told what to do.
Yeah, but it wouldn't. I mean, if it's gonna be that long, I doubt you're gonna be a character that entire time. You're gonna your character's gonna be you, isn't it? So if you've given that outline, so they're like, you must do this and you must be this, and you have to act that way for the entirety of the marriage. Yeah. In inverted commas, you're as an actor, you're going to create that relationship with somebody, and it's so one-sided. That's what gets me riled up more than anything, because if you're under certain what you have to be, then you're being deceitful, and it's not a genuine connection. And that lie, I think, is more of a it's interesting. But it could be
like one of the greatest works of art of all time. You're playing this character and you sacrifice your life to play this character for your whole
if you want to go all method about it, you could.
Super method. You would be one of the most famous people in the world because everyone is watching this show and you're the second lead.
You'd be famous for lying to somebody. That's not... I mean, people get famous for worse and more important things, but... sex tapes, for example. But, would you want that to be the reason that you were rocketed to fame because you were lying to someone for years?
Yeah. But even in life, like, you're creating a character. Like, I'm the guy
definitely.
who wears Hawaiian shirts.
That's how I spotted you this evening.
And internet radio show.
Yeah, you do. You do. But then if you were to change that for an entire, decade because of you've been told to as an acting thing, eventually that kind of just molds into you.
They're like, this is me, I have to do it because this is me.
Oh, you mean like identify as my character, like you with your shirts? Do you mean like that?
Yeah, like do you wear your hair a certain way because it's like this is kind of my identity?
Yeah, well, I have a bit of a thing with identity just because I don't know. It's always like, because I change my hair a lot. Yeah. That used to be a big part of my identifier.
I think it's different since I've seen you.
No, it just looks different because I've styled it different and it grows out. And I haven't actually touched it. This is the first time in a long time I've kind of left it alone. But, for a long time growing up, I always kind of had different hairdos and colours, and I'd style it I'd find little cool things to do, and I'd change my hair every period in class just because I could. And, there were little things like that identify you. So I feel like I do have a couple of them. I feel like my friends bring them up. More than I tell people about them. They find it very amusing.
Do you have identity crisis, or you just go with the flow and whatever feels right?
Whatever feels right. I mean, I guess one of my best friends who's Canadian, her and I call each other a crooked fork. And basically, or like she's a curly fry and I'm a crooked fork. And basically that joke came from, have you ever seen the meme where it's all these forks lined up in a row and then the one on the end's like twisted and crooked and it's got like unique underneath, but it's like underneath in small writing, it's like no good if you're not fucking useful. Yeah. So like we kind of joked about that. So she was the curly fry and I was the crooked fork. Yeah. So, I feel like that's a bit of my sort of identifier, is that I've got that, I met someone recently who was like, you seem to have the right balance of like crazy insane. It's cool. I'm like, what? And I feel like I don't think that I'm crazy. I'm quite vocal and just say whatever, and sometimes odd things, I guess, but not. I guess
to some people, like you're singing, dancing. There was just like a good 95% of people would never go on stage and just sing cabaret. Like that's insane to them.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true, and I'm quite.
But you never had to get over that hump. Or you
mean
getting on stage for the first time to do cabaret?
Oh, I mean, I
and
always
sing to an audience?
I'm actually a really insecure person.
Okay.
I am. I've been trying to deal with it the past year, and like
Just
because,
the past year.
Well,
Because you're doing this
my whole
course.
life, but it's amplified when I'm doing things that are being scrutinized for for learning purposes, but it's still at the end of the day they're still picking at bits that need to change or fix or improve.
Yeah.
And it just depends on my mindset as to how I'll take it. And that's more an insecurity thing. That's not like a diva thing. That's just like, oh my God, I'm bad. I'm terrible. I must be awful, and that's something I've had to deal with. So I kind of just adopt, because with most things I've adopted more of a just get up and do it attitude without thinking. So I do get like nervous before, but I when I'm on stage, I just have a lot of fun. So I actually, that's the thing though. I don't get stage fright. I get like jittery, like adrenaline, but I don't get stage fright. And people laugh. They're like, oh, but you're so confident. And I'm like, no, I just do it because it's fun. It's not because think that I'm confident and amazing. I just do it because I like what I'm doing. It's I'm a very strange, like borderline of insecure mess and just happy to be there. So it's, I guess so. Yeah. That's something I've struggled with the past year.
I obviously don't know you that well, and you come across as very confident to me. But maybe you turn up the audition and start talking to me as if we've known each other for like 10 years. But maybe that's part of the show.
I know. I feel like that's one of my talents.
Okay.
If you can call it a talent, I feel like I'm pretty good with people. I like people.
Yeah.
People are interesting, and I like interacting with people on different levels. So, quite often people will tell me that I'm good for, like, if there's an event. In terms of like greets and meeting and making people feel relaxed in that kind of atmosphere at auditions and stuff. I recently helped out with an audition, and I kind of just lingered so I could just be like, hi, like, come this way. So that's something that people have commented about me, is that I'm quite good at calming, and just because I think maybe that just comes from the fact that I'm openly goofy and don't, as personality wise, but my performance and personality are very different.
Yeah,
as well.
As soon as you step on that stage, it's a different.
Yeah, and it's also like a different personality too. Like you could think I'm super extroverted and confident and stuff, which is true for the most part. I am. I'm not. I don't walk around. I don't mean like I'm. That's the thing, because everyone's like, you're not shy. I'm like, no, I'm not shy, but I have my little tweaks that, and what do I call them? Triggers. Triggers. Yeah. I have triggers that I know what they are. That set me off. So now I kind of know when I steer of them. But when I started performing again, they kind of came up a bit more, so that's trying to work around those. But it's a bit of an identity thing, and I wouldn't, I can't, if I don't do anything creative, I get, I do feel really blocked and sad, and so I have to be doing something. So when I started doing all this again, it's like the floodgates opened, and in more like fantastic ways. I was so happy to be with people, like-minded people, learning how to build my craft and, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But then also there's the other end, the other floodgates open, where the self-doubt and the, insecurity comes in, and it's interesting. I like the acting side of things psychologically. That's quite, and I overanalyze in life, but I will overanalyze a character, but it's fine.
Awesome.
It works. Well, anyway, that got deep quick. Yeah. I don't even know what.
Well, we can go further, but we have to wrap up for tonight.
Oh, that was quick. Sorry, I feel like I talked a lot.
That's fine. That's what you're here for. But thanks so much for filling in for Jessica, and hopefully you'll get to rotate in the future, because I really enjoyed having you.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, thanks for having me. I was like, I will try and make this work, because I had fun last time. So thank you for having me. I've had a good time. Hopefully people that love Jessica, usually you will get her back next week, and you haven't hated listening to me.
I'm sure they loved you too.
Yeah, you haven't despised having me on for the hour. But it's been fun. So hopefully I'll be back, or something else or whatever.
Now I should know this. Just to plug your Twitter account, if you want to stalk her safely, don't go looking on her Facebook. Her Twitter account is Tania Alice, TANIAAALIS _.
Yes.
So double A for A. I'll put that in the show notes, but anyway. Bye.
Oh, bye.